let's discuss Uber.
Let's
Let's
do it.
discuss
Yeah.
Uber.
So
Do you want to set this little segment up for
I'll,
us?
I'll set the stage, man. So, for those of y'all hanging out with us, we're gonna switch things up. This segment of the show was normally like we both bring a top item of each week, and we're now going to change it to we both bring a deep dive into a company that we're both very familiar with, and that company that we're going to be walking through you all through into is Uber, right? So Uber reported their Q2 earnings yesterday morning before the market opened. The market loved it. Shares ended the day trading up nearly 20%. They're up another 4% today. So let's walk through why that happened from my perspective. So how I'm seeing it is like, I mean, let's all be real here. Uber has been this like, yeah, we'll eventually be profitable company for years. And they finally, did they finally report a profit? No, but they did report positive adjusted EBITDA for the first time of 382 million on more than $8 billion in revenue, which helped them print 382 million in free cash flow. The free cash flow is the first time the company ever shared a positive free cash flow report. So I think that's what's got people really excited is Uber finally able to, move toward profitability. We saw in their investor day, they want to hit 5 billion by 2024 in adjusted EBITDA, but all those different things, we'll get into that. But I think this was one of the real turning of the tide saying like, the market's finally beginning to think, at least that's what the stock price is telling us, that Uber has a chance to be profitable and print some free cash flow. So leaning back into some of the data here, the company generated $29.1 billion in bookings during the quarter, which puts them at about $116 billion in an annual run rate. So as we head into a potential recession, I don't know how this might stay up, above this 116 range. We'll have to see. But their mobility business, the rides business, was 13.4 billion of that revenue that they had. I think that was right.
Yeah,
Anyway,
13.4 billion, up 55% year over year.
got it. Cool. Thank you. And but the best part, right? The best part, in my opinion, is we always know, the stock market's forward looking. The stock market's over here saying, hold on, guys, did Uber just tell us that for the next quarter, they're looking at $30 billion in bookings with a $460 million guidance to adjusted EBITDA? That's crazy. So that's what's got me excited about Uber specifically. I think that's what the market's really pumped for is not only did Uber have a good quarter that was, profitable, free cash flow, whatever you want to call it, for the first time, but they said, hey guys, we're gonna do it again next quarter, right? Hop on the train, the Uber train, because we're rolling, baby. So yeah, what do you think about all this, Daniel? Is Uber finally kind of turning this curve? Are they flipping cash flow positive for ever now? I mean, or actually, I do want to mention before we jump into all this, if you think about free cash flow and how all this kind of you back into that number, stock-based compensation for the quarter was $470 million, right? So I think it's very important to not ignore that, right? Sure, they were free cash flow positive, but that's a massive non-cash expense that you can't really sustain. What are your thoughts?
Man, I've got so many thoughts. Obviously, everyone, these are our opinions. I got to ask you, Austin, before I answer that. I mean, are you thinking that are you bullish on this? Is this a buy? Is this a strong buy? What is the overall tone of what you feel about
Oh
Uber?
gosh. So today you're buying Uber for about 10 times, 11 times 2024 adjusted EBITDA, right? Their investor day said they're guiding to about 5 billion in 2024 adjusted EBITDA, assuming everything moves in the right direction and we don't see any sort of massive move down again. There's no like looming recession or stagnation. Like we're not seeing that. Like will Uber thrive during a recession? Perhaps. Will people, continue to Uber everywhere during a recession? Maybe. Like I don't know about all that. We're also seeing like an auto loan bubble happening behind the scenes. So maybe that has something to do with all this. But, do I like Uber? Do I want to buy the stock? What do I think about this? I like now that Uber is free cash flow positive, right? I think that's awesome. They guided to this $470 million. I'm sorry, I think it was 460 million in adjusted EBITDA next quarter. But again, back to that $470 million stock-based compensation, I don't know how sustainable that is. And even if you're able to kind of sustain that and keep on rocking and rolling, and Uber is able to hit that $5 billion in adjusted EBITDA, which will likely print a few billion in free cash flow. You kind of back into a market rate multiple of that. I mean, you're looking at maybe $35 to $40 a share. Like, I think I just saw Uber on screen around 31 or 32. I think there's a lot that has to go right for Uber to hit that 35-40 range by 2024. And I think there are too many variables to bet the farm on that on that right now, Daniel. I like the stock. I think it's okay. I just think there's a lot in the air that has to happen, that has to check the box. Everything needs to, like, the stars need to align for all this to happen. And I don't know if we're in an environment for all the stars to align.